In today's episode of the Platform Presents podcast, I have an interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Tony Cohn, and he's heading over from the team at Everflow. And Everflow is a very interesting platform that amplifies your performance and partnerships. So if you're looking to grow your business faster and you're considering partner marketing platforms, then that might be a very interesting play, because today we want to go into what Everflow is actually all about and how Tony is thinking about growth for the team. So welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you so much.
Yeah, so maybe give us at first like a quick 360 overview. What is Everflow all about?
Yeah, so Everflow is basically a platform that allows you to manage and track all sorts of partnerships. So whether that's affiliate partnerships, which is sort of how we started out, or whether that's like your referral partnerships or partnerships that strategic partnerships such as your co-marketing partners, basically allows you to kind of have all of that information in one place and then track all of your performance campaigns you do with that. So essentially, you're bringing all of this data together in one location, and you're able to kind of step back and take a view of it, and then you're able to kind of make decisions with the whole perspective kind of in mind.
Okay, that makes sense. So now, what would you say, which types of organizations do leverage the platform the most? Like, what is an organization with maybe which industry or what size or what reach that they want to achieve? Where do you think it makes a lot of sense typically for companies to, get started with something like Everflow?
Yeah, for sure. So we work with a wide variety of clients. Right now we work with about 800 different brands. And so in terms of kind of the best fit, it's really all over the place. It's essentially any business that's looking to grow through partnerships and is looking to grow and expand and be able to kind of track all of their performance is who we're looking to work with. So right now we work with, there are some common themes. So we do work with a lot of like gaming clients, insurance clients, fintech clients. So these are a lot of companies that want to kind of start out and either start a performance marketing program or grow their performance marketing program. And they want to do that primarily through partnerships. So they're bringing in, like I said earlier, kind of all of these channels into one location. But yeah, right now we work with, from the kind of companies that are just starting out to like these billion-dollar unicorns. So there is a wide variety, but I would just say that if you're looking to work with us, you're somebody who has a bunch of kind of irons in the fire when it comes to marketing and wants to kind of pull everything in and wants to kind of grow by bringing everything together.
Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense. What would you say? Which position do they typically hold? Like, like sort of who's reaching out? Is that sort of the is it in the marketing side of things? Is more marketing operations? Does it come maybe even from the C-suite? Like, where typically sort of does the the urge evolve to actually get Everflow on board?
Yeah, so I would say it is a lot of people on the marketing side. So I would say it's you do have the CMOs and you do have the kind of the marketing managers. They do drive a lot of this because essentially they're the ones who are concerned with data. And with our platform, we're able to kind of track performance kind of more than our competition. And we do that through like things like event tracking. So a lot of companies basically track just when you do sales or just when you do clicks. And we actually allow you to track these events. So things like upsells, things like site visits, things that kind of show a deeper side to your customer. And so the marketing folks are usually the most concerned with that. But we do also have anybody who has experience with the affiliate side of things. So like, for example, if you have a company, it's a large organization, and you have one person who is usually maintaining that channel, those people are always interested in our solutions as well.
Okay, no, that gives a good overview. So now, what I'm curious about is like, how do these folks actually learn about Everflow, right? I mean, what's the journey looking like? Or in other words, what are sort of the customer acquisition channels you guys leverage?
Yeah, so it's a great question. So right now we're kind of known in one side of the space. So we started out in the affiliate marketing space. So we do have a large kind of presence at affiliate marketing shows. And so that is kind of a nice lead driver, but we've been expanding that into more of the performance marketing space within the last couple of years. So we do trade shows, I would say overall are a nice lead driver for us, but we also have, we have like an SDR team. So basically they help with developing a sales pipeline. And then we also have a lot of organic and paid efforts. So, we run the typical Google AdWords campaigns, and we run the typical kind of paid ad stuff, but we also do a lot of organic content. So we'll do things like, email campaigns. We'll do things like, white papers, case studies, a lot of kind of thought leadership type stuff, which helps us sort of helps people that are on the fence and kind of thinking, okay, why would I need this platform, kind of to go the other side, because they're like, this is a problem that I'm dealing with, and it seems like these guys can solve it. So that helps a lot too.
Yeah, very good. How do you think about the website in their journey? Like, what do you think what role the website plays when they're getting to know Everflow?
The website's interesting because there's so many things that we see in this space, and I'm sure you guys see too, that just overall that they're so filled with like jargon, and it's so like confusing to actually know what a company does. And so our website, we try to make it where we give people actionable steps. And so we have something called an action plan for each kind of key segment of our business on our site. And so with that, it kind of gives you a formula that you can use if you're kind of thinking about, is this something I want to check out? So we'll give you steps saying, here's the first period of your journey with us. Here's what you want to do. Here's the next period of your journey. And so we kind of give a roadmap. And I think that kind of helps because it's sort of a unique way that we do it, that is more than just information. We're kind of giving you an outline of how to get started. And then I think that one thing we also do that's kind of nice too is that we have all of our content from our blog broken up by section. So it's like if you're just starting out, or if you're advanced, also by niche and also by content type. So we give a lot of options for you to find like the right article that will help and kind of give you the information that you can need to either get started, or even just, if you're not going to go with us, at least information that might help you just in your business overall.
I see. Very cool. No, that makes a lot of sense. So what I'm curious now is, when you look at the website, right? Because we have people on the show that they always see room for improvement in one or the other way for the website, because it's an ever evolving sort of, let's say, piece of work of the company. Where do you see sort of the biggest strengths of the website versus where do you see the biggest room to further grow and improve the page?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a good question. So in terms of like the strength, like I mentioned, I think we do a good job of kind of laying out a framework or like a path to kind of take a potential customer and say, this is what you could be doing. This is how we can help you do it, and this is how long it will take. Like I think that's a really nice strength. We also have done, we do a good job with just kind of breaking down the value points by each kind of specific group. So like if you're an agency that wants to work with us, we have specific points for you. If you're a affiliate network that wants to work with us, we have certain points for you too as well. So we do a good job with kind of breaking that down. And the content overall is not too much. So it's like, not like, if you want to read more, you can do that, but you're not kind of overwhelmed with a ton of information. So the team did a really good job with that too. And then I think in terms of kind of what we can improve on, we can always, test things to make things better. So like, we can always look at, test different wording, test different phrasing. And I think that is something that, we're doing right now, which I think is always helpful. And also too, I think we can always do a better job of just kind of further figuring out what language communicates with our audience. So like we do have that well now, but I think there's always room for improvement. Like the audience is always having different pain points. And so kind of staying in tune with, because we work with so many different types of audiences, like staying in tune with the latest stuff that they're dealing with, and getting that information quickly on the site is something that, we could do better with that as well. But I think we do pretty good job at that now, but that's always something that can be improved upon.
Okay, cool. Now we talked a lot about what you guys are doing. We talked about growth. I'm curious, here's a topic that is coming up recently on the podcast a lot, and maybe tell me if you sort of in your peer group of marketers, you guys are already talking about, it's the cookieless future, right? Like cookies going away, the cookie apocalypse. What do you hear from the fences? Like what do marketers talk about? What do you think are important topics in your perspective at the moment when it comes to cookies leaving the browsers or third-party cookies?
Yeah, so for sure. And yeah, cookies are definitely on their way out. And I think that, they serve their purpose originally, but there's a lot of downsides to them. So, they slow things down. They miss attribution issues. They're not as effective as they could be in just overall tracking. And so I think with what we do at Everflow is that our tracking is done through direct linking. And so with that, it allows essentially you to start tracking users directly when they hit your website. So right when they hit your website and right when they can start going from there, and basically you can start the whole process of seeing their journey from there, and you can follow them out of the website as well. So it's definitely like a more efficient model. And what we do is basically kind of like UTM tracking on Google, very similar type method, but it basically shows you, and we've seen the downsides of cookie tracking. And so with direct linking, it's so much more efficient. You're not sending somebody to a different landing page, and you're not following the user, unjustly, and you're basically doing it kind of how a natural sales process would go. And so we've seen direct linking have a huge impact for our clients because they're able to not lose customers in the funnel. They're able to kind of by tracking them on their site, you're able to get more information in general. So you're able to see, how they're engaging on the site, like their events, what they're doing once they get there. So it's basically direct linking is really just a simplified way of tracking that that covers more information because it involves a website versus, a cookie system that is slowing things down and is taking a user and kind of hurting their buying experience. So I think that just in the future, it's going to move forward to, a lot more people are going to be seeing that this type of tracking is not effective. And so, I think direct linking and cookieless tracking is here to stay.
Yeah, very cool. Maybe for the people who are listening in, who are sort of, following what you guys are doing, and now they're wondering if you could maybe lay down and for like maybe a second, the direct linking concept. Maybe for the people who haven't heard about that, could you give like a quick, 1 second overview so they can, follow along?
Yeah, so direct linking is essentially a form of tracking where you have a instead of the traditional cookie-based tracking, what you do is you have your general kind of site link, but what you do at the end, you have a little bit of characters at the end that are appended. So they're essentially like with Google ads, they're essentially that type of amount of characters, and it basically just contains essentially like the campaign name, the partner ID, so the source where it came from, and then kind of a little bit more information about where it's located at. And so what that does is it allows a business to kind of use that link, and you're gonna get tracking that is not going to be taking people to other places. So with a traditional kind of affiliate setup, basically what would happen was you would have a link that would be really long, and it would kind of take people out of the buying flow. So it would say you're using a company like Share Sale or Commission Junction or something. What would happen is you have a link that says like, XYZ Commission Junction sub ID 4, all this like long character stuff, which doesn't, it's not natural. And it also, it kind of first raises questions within a buyer's mind. But what these direct links do is basically you have your regular website information with just a little bit of information added to it. And so on a quick side note, that allows you actually to rank in search for your links too. So that's nice too, versus the kind of cookie normal base setup. But yeah, essentially what happens is a user will see these links in various, various capacities. So whether that's in like an ad, whether that's like a referral link, or any sort of way that the brand wants to promote their campaigns. And so they'll click on a link and they'll be taken to the regular website. So they won't be going to like a landing page. They won't be going to, sure, a landing page could be on the site, but they won't be going necessarily to like a random site that is built for marketing, but basically go directly to the site. And then once you're there, you have the advantages of tracking all the actions within the site. So it's great because you can see, like we have a lot of clients that are really into upsells. So we can see, okay, you know what, somebody was on there and they bought like multiple products. You can see that with direct linking. You can see that a customer was on there and they maybe liked some of your social posts. You can see that. So you can see they're engaged. So you can do a lot more once you reach it. And so, yeah, it's just like a shorter, more natural way of tracking, and not too many people are doing it, but I think it's really where the future is headed.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Yeah, as we slowly heading to the end of the interview, I have some rapid fire questions for you to wrap it up for today. Are you ready for those?
Yes, for sure.
What is the last book that you read, or the one book that you would recommend any marketers to read?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think the last marketing book I read was probably the last book I read, which is the Boron Letters. It's like a really simplified way of kind of learning basic kind of marketing techniques. And it was from a gentleman who's passed the marketing knowledge to his son. So I think that was really cool, and I'd recommend that.
Mm-hmm. What is the one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
Good question. I'd say that right now our biggest focus is on making ways to make media buying easier and more effective. And so there are a lot of tools like Facebook, Google Ads, TikTok ads, things like that are, it's easy to get into. It's easy to get an account on Google. It's easy to get an account on Facebook. But to get significant data and know exactly what's happening has always been a mystery. Like I've tried to run campaigns, myself on Google, and there's so much optimization, and I'm so confused on what to do. And so we would definitely want to do more with that moving forward. As we have an integration right now with Facebook ads, and we have an integration with Google, and we have one with TikTok. And so definitely refining those and making those easier for our customers to use, and then also just figuring out ways to show our customers, okay, this is how you get more value out of these paid channels, because that is an issue, and we're always about kind of helping out our customers.
Cool. For the very last question, just to wrap it up for today, I would like to do a little bit of time travel, right? Let's go back to the days of California State and University of Sacramento, if you allow, right? So you're heading out of formal education into the world of, business and marketing. What's the one advice you would give yourself for your journey?
I would say that, whatever you can, whatever way possible, is to definitely after school, like after you're done with your schooling, or even the last semester of your school, make sure you get an internship, and make sure you get connected with anybody in the industry you want to go to. And so, with that was something that I stumbled on to kind of the whole performance marketing thing through sort of a period of phases. So like I worked in kind of SEO copywriting. I worked in sort of, some basic kind of affiliate management, and that's how I got into this kind of space. But I think I could have streamlined that journey if I would have connected with, with a company that was maybe doing something interesting in the space, and got on as an intern or something like that. I think that's always key, because even if you're not getting paid, you're at least learning stuff, and you're learning, you're learning the terminology, you're learning the basic concepts, which once you know that stuff, you can unlock a lot of opportunities. You just have to get a chance and kind of get connected earlier in your career.
Very cool. Very cool. Tony, I really appreciate you took the time with us today to be a guest on Platform Presents. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting all that we discussed about Everflow today, what's the one thing that they should remember?
The one thing that that you should remember about Everflow is that if you're doing any sort of marketing campaigns or any sort of advertising campaigns, there's a lot more data out there that can help you grow, and data can be used to it can be used as like a secret weapon for anything you're doing. And so definitely connect with us. We can show you different ways that you maybe thought about, you never thought about tracking for your business, different things you can do. And so there's a lot of information beyond simply clicks and conversions out there that we can help you with. And even if you don't go with us, there's definitely a lot more things you can question about, like how am I, what metrics are important to me, like how can I grow my business. And that's one thing I've seen in Everflow is that a tracking tool and a platform can actually be a huge growth driver if you're willing to kind of invest in it and learn from it. And so, I think that's probably the most important thing.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Platform Presents.
Cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.